Welcome everyone to our monthly Connect session for July. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Chloe. I'm a co-pilot solution engineer at Microsoft. I've been here for about almost 2 years. What I do is I take care around the M365 Copilot space into agents as well, so into Copilot Studio. And I also on the side run Microsoft Student Accelerator with my peer Saanvi, and then also Ella as well. So you may have seen them around before in the previous sessions. Before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and their continuing connection to our community. We pay respect to them, their culture, and to the elders, both past and present. We are recording this session as well, but if you do need any live captions, we do have some Teams controls on the top right corner of your screen, so you can select show live captions and also transcription as well if needed. All right, so like I mentioned, I'm today's host. I'm a Copilot technical specialist, and I'm here joined today with Saanvi, who's a cloud and AI specialist at Microsoft, and she will be pretty much running the show today, and she will be talking a lot about Azure AI Foundry. Saanvi, do you want to kind of introduce yourself?
Yep, sounds good. Hello, everyone. My name is Saanvi, and I'm a cloud and AI specialist at Microsoft, and I work on everything which is related to Azure. So one of the products that we're going to be looking at today is Azure Foundry and how we usually build agents, no-code agents on Azure Foundry. So that's what we're going to be learning about today. So really excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Saanvi, for the introduction. Just look over to the next slide. In terms of the agenda, Saanvi comes from a technical background, but she's also in a sales role at Microsoft, so she's got best of both worlds. She'll be covering how to build your first AI agent in Azure AI Foundry. We'll start off with the basics in terms of what is an agent for those that are new to this concept. It is the latest buzzword nowadays in technology around agents. She'll discuss a little bit more around the configuration, around agent tools and knowledge, how to get started as well as a student, and also some additional resources that you can use post this session. We've got a lot of feedback from students to have a more technical session. So if you do have a technical background, this would be highly relevant for you. We also do run other sessions that are a little bit less technical and more career focused, but we're just getting feedback from students they'd like a technical session. So that's what this session will be about. Bit of other housekeeping things. We do have a program called the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. There is just a link on the bottom of the screen there if you want to apply. If you're not familiar with it, it is pretty much a program that's designed for students that are passionate about technology and eager to share knowledge with other people. You'll develop technical skills, but also some leadership skills through AI-driven projects. You'll be setting up workshops, creating video tutorials, and being pretty much like a thought ambassador and a thought leader. I also do want to highlight the Microsoft Student Hub, and this contains a ton of free resources, and some of them are pictured here. A key call out is for any students that are technical, we do have a GitHub student developer pack. And this is a resource if you're eager to learn more about software development and then also just practicing your skills. We've also got student certifications that you can enroll for as well. This is really great if you are looking for a role at Microsoft. A lot of recruiters and managers do look for students that have done certifications and are passionate about the Microsoft suite. Like I mentioned, all our sessions are recorded, and if you do want to rewatch them, they are uploaded onto Michelle Sanford's YouTube channel. If you want to review some of the other sessions that we've held previously as well, they're also available here. There's a link at the bottom here to some of the technical sessions that we've also had previously, so at ak.ms/MSA Tech. We've also got a Microsoft Source newsletter, which is curated content for the developer community. So if you're interested in learning more about new technology, you want to connect with other developers, this is a really great resource. You'll find other information about hackathons, technical training sessions, and conferences. So I'll leave that QR code up for a little bit if you want to just grab your cameras and take a picture of that. Otherwise, we've also just got a link at the bottom of the screen. And lastly, we've also got some Facebook and LinkedIn groups. We do post some news in there when we do have events, student boot camps, and things like that. So feel free to also scan those QR codes if you want to join. We've got the link for the LinkedIn page, I think, on the left, and then also Facebook on the right. So yeah, this is where you can stay up to date with some of the announcements for events, learning opportunities, and also any other workshops. If you are based in Melbourne, we also do have in-person events regularly. They are hosted by the team, the MSA team in Melbourne. We've also had some in-person sessions in Sydney last year, and we're definitely going to be planning to do one this year as well. So if you want to stay up to date with some of the in-person events that we hold, feel free to scan that QR code. For now, I will pass it over to Saanvi.
Hello. Amazing. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Chloe, for the intro. So today we're going to be looking at building your first AI agent on Azure AI Foundry. And whoever doesn't know about Azure AI Foundry, I've also added a link in the chat. So Azure AI Foundry is basically Microsoft's own agent developer tool where you can build code and no-code tools, and they're all hosted on Azure, and you can use various models, create your own knowledge base, and basically train it on any data that you would like to use for the agent. So today we're going to be looking at a university-related agent. But yeah, this is just, but this is what Azure AI Foundry is about. Next page, please. Yeah. So to get an understanding of what is an AI agent, so an AI agent is basically an app which is powered by an LLM that basically follows your instructions, uses tools and knowledge, and takes actions to reach a goal. So basically, when we're actually building this agent, we're looking at four key components. So one is the instructions. So we will give it instructions on how it should be behaving. We'll also give it tools in terms of what like is it going to be using, a PDF as a knowledge base? Is it going to be using a PDF, looking at the web, scraping Foundry IQ? What is it going to be looking at? Knowledge, so what knowledge is it going to be grounded upon? And then the next thing is action. So what actions do we need to take in order to get the agent to give us the answer as well? Next question, please. Yeah, so the agent creation process is very, very simple. And this can be done for anyone who is no code or code as well. So if you want to work with me as we build this agent together, I'm more than happy for you to sign into the Azure AI Foundry portal. I've put the link in as well. And if you do have a Microsoft account and Azure account, I think you should be able to use this. So very simply, we can create a project, choose a model, write your instructions, add any tools and knowledge, and then you can basically test in the playground as well. So we'll also be walking through all these steps, but this is the quick overview of the steps for building this agent. Next slide. Yeah. And basically the instructions set the behavior, tools, and knowledge, give your agent real power. So the knowledge basically grounds answers in your own files and data. The tools look at such things like web search, if it wants to be a code interpreter, and custom or MCP tools. And the best part about Foundry is that you're able to test and deploy the agent as well while it's building. So you can validate in the playground, then also integrate it via a simple endpoint as well. So it's very, very simple to build the agent tool. And I've also added a few key links as well. So you are able to get started for free as a student. So you can look at the Azure for student credits, the link to the Foundry portal, the playground, as well as VS Code if you like using the VS Code interface instead, and you want to build code agents. So you can build both no code and code agents. But today we'll be just looking at no code agents. And if you want to keep developing your skills in Azure AI and Azure Foundry solutions, I've added a free Microsoft Learn path with hands-on modules. There's also step-by-step guided lab exercise. Will be a bit more detailed in what I'll be showing today. And a few more details on the Student Hub as well. And if we can go to, yeah, so I think that's all done with the slides. And I think I can show you in real time how we build the agent. And I'll just be taking over this screen. Okay. Do let me know if any of you can't see, if you can't see anything. Okay, can you guys see the Foundry portal?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, amazing. So before we actually start building, I'll just showcase what it looks like. So this is basically the Microsoft Foundry website. And usually in order for us to build any agent, you need to have a project created. And that can be done through this button, which is create new project. And you would usually need an Azure subscription to be able to create that. And that's how we can create a new project. So it's very simple, like create a new project. And then as you can see, there's advanced options in regards to the subscription. So you need an Azure subscription, and then you can add in details regarding the resource as well. So I've already created a project for today, which is called the University Project. So in terms of this page is just the agents page. Then over here is the models page. So you can see the different models that are available. Yep, so these are the different models that I have used so far, but you can obviously use different models as well. Different tools. So you can create your own toolbox as well with different tools as well. So this can include things like you can add your own guardrails, description of what the tool is, and you can decide to add which kind of tool. So it can be a file search, code interpreter, AI search, web search, computer use, work IQ, or any automations as well. Then over here is the knowledge base. So you can create your own knowledge bases with any, if you want to use any third-party tools as well or data. So you can select that as well. Different indexes can also be built using any PDFs. So I have created one over here for today's lesson, which is an AI 101 Study Asian Knowledge Pack as well. Then we have a few guardrails as well. You can also create your own guardrails for any particular, anything in particular that you would want to comply with the content, like anything which is harmful for the agent. So you can also add those guardrails and protect it from any material. As well as this is the data. So any data sets as well. So I've added the PDF, so that's one of the data sets. And you can also optimize it further. So once you have created an agent, you can also evaluate the quality and standard safety of your AI agent. And you can basically define, so you can basically define the scope, the data, the criteria as well. So we can also play around with this once we've built our agent. And over here, the last service is to fine tune. If you want to increase your model performance and data, you're also able to fine tune it very simply. Okay, so in terms of the first steps, we will just be going on our project web page, and then we'll just create a new agent. And you can either select build an agent or code an agent. So for today, we're going to be building an agent. And then we can just name anything. So for today, I'm just going to say MSA University agent, and your name needs to have no spaces or anything like that. So it should just be a full title without any spaces. And then we'll just create it and open it in Playground. It might take a few minutes to just get created. Amazing. So yes, so firstly from here we can decide the models that we want. So I want to use GPT-5 today. Or sorry, I want to use GPT-4o today. So this is just deploying the model. Oh, okay. Looks like the model has been deprecated. All good. So we can just click on GPT-5. If you want voice mode as well in your agent, you can turn that on as well. But for today, I think we'll just use text mode. And then in terms of instructions, I've created a Foundry agent prompt, so I can just walk you guys through it. So I'm building UniMate, an AI study assistant for university students. And your role is to help students understand course material, prepare for exams, answer questions about assessments, and create study plans. When answering, use the uploaded course content first, explain concepts in simple language, provide examples where appropriate, generate quizzes and flashcards upon request, and help students prepare for assignments without completing the work for them. And if information is not available in the course material, please clearly state that. So always be supportive, concise, and educational. So this is a very strong prompt, and I've purposely made this prompt content agnostic in terms of I've not given it like a certain subject that we're studying across. I've made this content agnostic, so we can upload any kind of material. So if you want to study for maths, English, any different university subjects, you can always adapt your agent like that. So we're gonna copy this in, add it to the instructions. In terms of tools, I am using web search. I'm just using web search for this one. And then in terms of knowledge, you can also connect it to Foundry IQ. Unfortunately, I don't think we can connect it right now, but if needed, you can also connect it to Foundry IQ. In terms of upload files, I have an AI 101 study agent knowledge pack. I can also open it 1 second and just showcase what it looks like. So this is a AI study 101 study buddy I've tried to create, which is similar to like a university lecture or a textbook. So it has a lot of notes and study guides and things like that. So this is what I'm going to be uploading into the agent. So I'm just going to select that from my downloads. And this will take some time to upload as well. Yep, so as you can see, it has created a vector search and it has been stored in our tools. Okay, all good. And then, unfortunately, memory is not available in this project region, so it's not available in Australia, but it basically, memory makes sure that it remembers all interactions that you have with your agent. So let's say if while interacting, you give it any answers, or it knows the way that you ask questions, so that it will usually store that. So it makes it easy. The user interface becomes a lot easier if you use the agent repetitively. But this is unfortunately not available in this region. And also guardrails. So again, as I showed before, if you want to create any certain guardrails for the agent to make sure that it follows certain guidelines, you can do that as well. For this agent, we don't really need anything in particular, so that should be all good. And then we can just save it over here. Yep. And then if you want to look at details, we can look at details over here as well. So says it's running, it's an active version. So the endpoint is this link. And so that means this link will open the agent, and just a bit more details on identity and access. In terms of traces, we have no runs or traces to display because we have not run it yet. And once we can also over here monitor it. So if we want to connect any tokens or anything like that, we can do that as well. and we'll get a few operational metrics once we start running the agent. And over here is the evaluation aspect if you want to evaluate anything with the agent. So we can run this once we test the agent. So let's go to the playground. So here you can either run it, test it over here, or you can also preview it in the web app. So I would suggest we can just run it over here. So let's say maybe if we want to ask the agent questions, I have a few questions set up over here as well. So let's say maybe let's try like 2 to 3 questions. So let's say let's ask it explain supervised versus unsupervised learning with examples. Okay. Yep. So look, it has provided all this information pretty soon. And it also asks if you would like to create a short quiz or some flashcards to practice these as well. So that's really good and it was really quick as well. And let's try the next one. So quiz me on lecture 3 with 5 multiple choice questions. So this will now generate a few questions as well. Yep. So as you can see, here are 5 MCQs on lecture 3. So what is the main capability of Gen AI? LLM models generate text primarily by ABC, and which prompt is best aligned with effective prompt engineering for LLMs? So this is basically they've created questions and they've also given you answers as well to double check if you're getting the correct answers. This is one way of using the agent, and maybe you can say, create me flashcards for the whole subject. And it will also help you create a few flashcards. Yep, and the final version you can also print it as a Q&A cards, a CSV, as well. So you can look at the format you like. So this is an example. So this is basically an example of how it works and how you can use it. Before we publish, we can take a look at and also look at the monitor. So as you can see down here, you can see the operational metrics, the run agents and token metrics as well. So in terms of the total token count, as compared to the agent runs that there were, the tool called in agents, and the error rate as well. So as you can see, there's no error percentage currently. And now let's go to evaluation and we can just see improve it. So let's say we want to evaluate our agent. We want to look at individual turns, synthetic generation. So this will basically choose a deployment and questions will be automatically generated for each target when you submit the evaluation. And next criteria, they have generated the following 19 evaluators in terms of the agent, the quality, and safety. And then finally, we can add a name and a description to the evaluation run as well. So we submit this, and we have created an evaluation now. Yep. And then what we can do now is just, yep, so it's basically running now. And once that runs, we would be able to see the evaluation metrics as well. Okay, I think this might take some time. But yeah, this is an example of how we build an agent on Microsoft Foundry, and just showing you the preview web app. This is how the preview web app will look. And you can also, if you would like to, if you're a bit more technical and you would like to actually see the sample code, that is available as well. So you can look at that in your GitHub. So over here, and finally, we can go back. And yeah, this is just, yes, this is an example of building an agent. You can easily test everything. Um, you can you can call this agent as well if you build the agent and you want to use it somewhere else in any of your other projects. And this also has the metadata over here as well. And if we just want to look finally at the evaluation, it's still running. So if there's in time it does end up running, I can show you what it returns. But yeah, this is an example of building a deck on Azure AI, sorry, an agent on Azure AI Foundry. And yeah, I'm opening the floor to any questions. If any of you have any questions or anything you'd like to clarify, feel free to do so. Yep. Wrong bin? Yep.
Yeah, I'm Mike. I have a question. If the input is a irrelevant question, and what's the response about the agent?
Okay, so if it's an irrelevant question, what it would return is it would potentially um it would potentially give you the information that there is not enough, they don't have enough knowledge base regarding this question. Or what I would do is look at a web search it.
Yeah, it's will use a web search to search it the question. But when you use it like ChatGPT and like this, and how did we how do we to control it? I mean, well, maybe some people use it as a ChatGPT.
Yep. So I would say, wait, so are you asking what's the difference between this or ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Okay. So the specific difference between this and ChatGPT is that you can customize the agent. For example, with ChatGPT, you can also customize with ChatGPT. But in terms of Microsoft Foundry, what you can do is you can create your own you can basically evaluate everything. You can create your you can basically customize it according to your own data and things like that. You can add in your guardrails. So it's a lot more hands-on. Um, Obviously, you can also build custom agents with ChatGPT as well. But look, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say, I would say that personally, in terms of schools and education, because Microsoft Suite is quite used, and because if you do build an agent on Microsoft Foundry, you can also access other APIs such as your Word docs, other spreadsheets and things like that. So I think that is very, very good, which the whole Microsoft Suite does bring in.
Yeah.
And I feel that is very important. Look, completely being honest, there's various agent frameworks these days, and you can build agents on various tools. But I think what Foundry offers is that it offers a Microsoft suite, and the biggest is since a lot of models are hosted on Azure as well, so it provides you with those capabilities as well, and you can evaluate it. You can basically make these metrics as detailed as you want. And what I showed is a very, very simple use case. You can also look at making the agent as more complicated as you like as well. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah. One more thing. I want to know what's the bottom patch at the Microsoft AI Foundry, like use rag or graph rag.
Sorry, what did you say?
Bottom tech touch, bottom touch.
What do you mean by bottom touch?
Like when you give the agent data and
Yeah.
how the agent to deal with the data.
Yeah. So sorry, are you asking how it does that happen in Microsoft Foundry?
Yeah.
So you're asking how does Microsoft Foundry deal with data?
Yeah. When you yeah, I can you give the agent a file and how does the agent deal with handle the file?
Okay.
Yeah, it's use a rag or graph rag.
Is it user wrap?
Rag, RAG.
Oh, wait, are you saying rag?
Yeah, rag.
Oh, is it user rag? Okay, okay, okay. Yep. Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't understand your question first. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Um, yep. So basically what happens when you upload a file, for example, when you upload the AI 101, for example, when we uploaded the AI 101 study booklet, study buddy study buddy doc. So firstly, Foundry will read the document. The document is then split into chunks, small selections of text. Then the embeddings are created for each chunk. The chunks are then indexed into a vector store or search index. And when a user asks a question, Foundry searches for relevant chunks, retrieves the best matches, adds them to the prompt, and sends everything to the LLM. And then it generates an answer based on the retrieved content, if that makes sense. Um, so basically, it will not read the document every time. It will look at the user question, search in the vector search, find the assignment section, send retrieve text to GPT, and then generate an answer. Um, yeah, so it's just a classic retrieval augmented generated model, generated agent. And the best part about this in Azure Foundry is that the document or any data that you provide is not used to train Microsoft models. So any of the files that are uploaded by you are not used as any grounding data for retrieval and response generations. That's the best part.
yeah. Okay.
Amazing. Any other questions from
Thank you.
anyone else? All good, all good.
Hello. Uh,
Yeah, hello?
yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Does the data put in the agent, do you have any limit? For example, the ChatGPT only can have some fields and have the limit of the size. And if I use the agent, can I put some big data just like the DB may have hundreds of M or GB? Can I
Yes.
put it into?
Yes. So in terms of limit, yeah, I'm just taking a look at what the limit size is for yep. So currently you can store up to 10,000 files per vector store. And one vector store can be attached to an agent and one can be attached to a conversation as well. And there's not any documentation regarding um, any file size, but it notes that the file size and token limits are governed by the Foundry quotas and limits configuration. So depending on the number of the Foundry quotas, um, it will vary. So exact limits can vary according to the different platforms. Um, but I think in terms of documents and things like that, there should not be any issue with that. So yeah, you could upload anything as big as like a 10 to 20 lecture slide deck as well. If you want to upload any other data like videos, images, anything like that as well, so that's possible as well.
Okay. And another question: does the agent is run in the web, and if it can call the tools on my computer, just like some softwares on my computer, can it call the tools?
Sorry, could you just repeat the question again?
I don't know if it can call the tools, use my tools on my computer, just like some design softwares or some other tools installed on my computer. I don't know if the agent can call it, can use it.
Yes, so in terms of that, so as I showed you as well, so Microsoft Foundry, it has something, it basically has a section where you can basically connect it to other tools.
Yeah, just the tools, some
Yes, so I
coding
think in
tools
terms
or
of
some, yeah.
if you want, you can add tools as well. So I think you can potentially add the tools on your website as well. And you can also connect it to, you can also use API keys to connect it to anything else as well. So that's pretty accessible as well.
So it also has a CLI, a command window, just like the Cloud Code that can.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So if you would want to use, so what I showed you right now was a no-code agent. If you want to use a code, like if you want to use a code agent, you can use GitHub, like the GitHub Copilot CLI as well.
Oh, okay. And the data, if I already put some data in the agent, and the data may have some conflict, and if the agent will recognize the right data from it.
Sorry, can you please repeat your question again?
And sometimes I will put a lot of data in
Yes.
it, and some data may that is right, that is wrong, and it can tell which one to call to reply the question. It can tell.
Yes, yes. So are you saying that if you put in a lot of data,
Yeah.
and are you saying you want to ask it questions? Will it tell if the question is correct or not? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, yes. For example, for this example, we did give it a PDF with all the information. And what you can do is, let's say if you ask it a question, I think similar to Rongbin's question as well. If you ask it a question and let's say it does not know an answer, what the response most likely will be is, okay, actually, why don't we test this as well? Since a lot of you are asking this, we can even have a test play around with this. So let me share my screen. So yeah, so let's say, can you tell me the weather today, right? It's a question which is completely unrelated to what we have uploaded or what the agent has in terms of the data that we have provided it, right? So let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so what it's actually doing is it's looking at because we have also provided with web search, it's looking at that. So now let's say if I tell you I am based in Sydney and yeah, I'm based in Sydney, okay?
Okay, so
But
it
I
is,
think
it is first will search the
PDF?
document I gave. Yeah,
Yes.
I gave it, and then if they don't have answer, they will search the internet.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
But what you can also do is you can create guardrails as well. So if you want to create a guardrail and only make sure that you want to specify it first, you only want to specify for certain questions, you can add create a guardrail as well for that. Or if you just want your agent to be trained upon just the data which you upload, then you can also remove web search. So it will only be looking at your data as well. Okay?
So all this is based on the Azure. If I use it to build a customer service agent, and I put it online, when there were a lot of questions, a lot of requests, it will automatically scale
Yes.
the.
Yes. because it's
Amazing.
because you're using Azure, like you're using Foundry, right? So it will scale on demand as well because it's yeah, so there's no issue like that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, so in terms of scaling, Foundry agents are really, really good for that. Because it will scale automatically because when users send requests to an agent, the agent runtime is managed by Microsoft, and model inference scales based on capacity of the underlying model deployment. So you don't need to provision any additional service just because more students start using the agent as well. So that's very simple. But sometimes for larger deployments, a few things might become a bottleneck. But that could be related to any region-specific quotas. So, like if it's specifically for Australia, we only have certain quotas. That might be an issue as well. That might be an issue. But otherwise, it can usually scale up to a good level, at least in terms of a student use case if we're looking at that.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. No worries. Do we have any final questions? I think we are at time as well, but if we have any last questions or anything like that, happy to answer them. Yep. Yu Chao? Yu Chao, you raised your hand up. Do you want to ask a question?
Oh, you're on mute as well, Yuchao.
Yeah, already replied.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, your hand's just up. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you.
All right. If there aren't any more questions, thanks so much everyone for joining. Saanvi, you did an amazing job with the demo. It's really good to have a technical session for those that are on the call that are a bit more technical, and I really love the questions and the engagement that we got this session. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining. We are recording, so if you ever do need to rewatch, they'll be uploaded to Michelle's YouTube channel. Hope everyone has a great Friday, and we'll see you next month.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.